Welcome to a journey into the heart of West African folklore. Today, we unravel the origins of a legendary figure, Anansi, the spider god of stories and wisdom. Our tale begins with Nyame, the supreme sky god. In the early days, the world was different. All the stories, all the knowledge, all the wisdom of the universe belonged solely to Nyame in the heavens. Humans yearned to understand the world around them, to have tales to share and lessons to learn. Writing wasn't really a thing back then, so knowledge was mostly transmitted orally. Unfortunately, these precious things were all locked away in Nyame's celestial realm. It was then that a clever mortal chieftain, some say blessed with a touch of the spider's ingenuity, looked up to the sky with a burning desire. His name? Anansi. Anansi wasn't the strongest, nor was he the tallest, but his mind was as intricate and resourceful as the most elaborate spiderweb. He believed that stories and wisdom shouldn't belong to just one being, even if that being was God. Driven by this desire, Anansi embarked on an extraordinary quest. Legend tells us he climbed a celestial web, a shimmering thread connecting Earth to Nyame's heavenly abode. Other accounts say he simply hatched a plan so ingenious it caught the sky god's attention and he sent. Either way, Anansi found himself in Nyame's presence. Reaching Nyame, Anansi made a bold request. He asked for all the stories, the very essence of wisdom, to be given to humankind. Nyame, the sky god, was intrigued by this small yet determined creature. He declared, "If you bring me certain things, Anansi, then I shall grant your wish." Nyame designed his task to be insurmountable, a price he believed no creature, certainly not one as tiny as Anansi, could ever pay. The task was seemingly impossible. One was to capture the Mmoboro, a swarm of hornets who stung like fire. Next, he was to capture Onini, the great python. Then Anansi was to bring the elusive Osebo, a leopard of terrible teeth. Finally, he was to present the Mmoatia, the invisible fairy. Now, Anansi, with his unparalleled wit and cunning, didn't rely on brute force as expected. He used his cleverness, his ability to trick and strategize to accomplish each task. He outsmarted the hornets, outmaneuvered the leopards, and cleverly captured the invisible fairy. How did he do it, you may be wondering? Well, let's get into it. To start, Anansi approached the swarm with calculated mischief. First, he found a large calabash and placed sweet honey inside. Then, standing beneath the hornet's nest, he poured water over a banana leaf he held over his head, pretending that it was rain. He sprinkled more water onto the nest and cried out dramatically that a terrible storm was coming. Quick, my bosom friends, the rain will drown you. Seek shelter in my calabash. The hornets, alarmed and instinctively seeking safety, flew straight into the calabash. Anansi immediately slammed the lid shut, trapping them. Anansi grinned, calabash in hand, mocking their gullibility as he walked away with his prize. Next was Onini, the massive python. Anansi knew he couldn't overpower the beast, but he could certainly outwit it. He carved a long pale stick from a palm tree, then scraped it smooth. Carrying it through the forest, he staged a loud argument with himself. It's longer than him. No, it's no longer than him. Onini, furious and somewhat vain, slithered out from the underbush. Who is longer than whom? He demanded. Anansi explained that he and his wife, Aso, couldn't agree on whether Onini was longer than this palm branch. The python, eager to settle the debate, agreed to lie straight beside it. Anansi then said, to get a true measurement, I must tie you down, just to make sure you don't curl up. The python consented. One loop, then another, until Onini was fully bound. And once he was, Anansi laughed and hoisted the tightly wrapped serpent onto his back, muttering gleefully to himself. Now, to Osebo, the fearsome leopard. He was powerful, but he was unprepared for trickery. Anansi dug a deep pit along the leopard's usual path and carefully concealed it. Sure enough, Osebo stumbled in. A decent time later, Anansi appeared with a concerned voice. Oh, noble Osebo, what misfortune has befallen you? Let me help you out. He spun thick spiderweb ropes and lowered them down to Osebo. But as soon as Osebo was free, Anansi's demeanor changed. With lightning speed, he tangled Osebo tightly in his web. Standing tall, leopard in tow, Anansi chuckled all the way to Nyame. Finally, perhaps his most curious challenge yet was Mmoatia, the invisible forest fairy. For this, Anansi crafted a clever trap, a life-sized figure made entirely of sticky tar. He set the figure in a clearing and waited. When Mmoatia stumbled upon the figure, she received no reply for her greeting. What turned her livid, as she considered that to be the highest form of disrespect. She struck it once, twice, again and again. But with each strike, each hit, her limbs stuck deeper into the tar. Before long, Mmoatia was completely immobilized. It was then that Anansi stepped out of the shadows, smiling triumphantly. Invisible, yes, but definitely not untouchable. Impressed by Anansi's ingenuity, Nyame kept his word. He bestowed all the stories, all the wisdom upon Anansi. And so, Anansi descended back to earth, not just a clever chieftain now, but as the keeper of stories. He shared these tales and this wisdom with mankind, enriching our lives and helping us understand the world around us. From that day forward, Anansi became known as the spider god of stories and wisdom. And that is how the world came to have the tales we cherish today. All thanks to the cleverness and determination of a little spider with a big dream. Anansi's legacy continues to spin its web even today, reminding us that even the smallest amongst us can achieve great things through wit and the power of stories.